Hey guys, this is Josh and the Homebrew Hombres, Liam Malone, Max Wessel, and Doug Banks.
Hey!
We make RPG from scratch. It's a podcast about making and playing your own tabletop role-playing games. So come listen to us work on the Scratch Dice system, an alternative to D&D and Pathfinder, and listen to our first campaign,
Echoes of the Star Crypt,
at nerdyshow.com and on your favorite podcast app.
The Call of Cthulhu Mystery Program is presented by the Nerdy Show Network, geeky programming for all nerds across the multiverse. It contains content that might not be suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Do you hear that? In the cruel blackness of night, an unknowable evil from beyond time cries out. What dark deeds unfold on the streets of Arkham, and which unwitting souls, innocent or impure, will succumb to the maddening call, the call of Cthulhu.
Nerdy Show and Matic Ordnance Firearms bring you Part 4 of the Call of Cthulhu Mystery Program. Tonight's strange story, Chicanery at the Tannery.
Prince Bootsy! Oh, Prince Bootsy, where are you? Dash it all. Honey, have you seen the cat?
I'm afraid I have.
Oh, Prince Bootsy! He's dead! Who would do such a thing? No man may kill a cat in Uthar.
'Tweren't a man, my dear. Coyotes.
Whatever shall we do? Our rural livelihood is in grave jeopardy.
Never fear, wife. Our livestock shall be protected with the latest marvel in munitions. Matic Ordnance's Johnson submachine gun.
An East St. Louis typewriter?
The very same. This magnificently crafted marvel of American engineering can drive off the peskiest of varmints or interlopers with 800 rounds a minute.
A flurry of lead with one pull of the trigger certainly gives me peace of mind.
Matic Ordnance's Johnson submachine gun is available by mail order, starting at $175. Send check or money order to 1437 Railroad Avenue, Bridgeport, Connecticut. For swift vengeance and common protection alike, the choice is automatic.
The contents of Pell Estate Lot X have revealed a labyrinth of mystery and pain. Already, dead ends and dire dealings have befallen our investigators in their search for answers. But they've made a chilling revelation that might shed some light on the darkened path ahead. If the contents of one man's automobile can unleash such hell, what horrors hide in the rest of his estate? A new day dawns, and answers await.
I think I'm dead.
You look it.
'Cause that is the most heavenly thing I've ever smelled.
I quite agree. Colombian beans, fresh ground. I set down a cup of black coffee in front of Oswald.
And you must be an angel.
You've still got head trauma, darling. I trust that the smell of coffee and food has sufficiently rallied the troops.
It takes a while, but eventually they're all assembled in the kitchen, awaiting your debriefing.
As discussed, I called the auction house first thing, and Anna has retrieved for us documentation on the previous Pell auction. Anna?
Pell Estate Lot A was purchased on the account of the Great Eastern Tannery in Bolton, delivered to the same. According to the documents, it's mostly Chinese furniture, paintings, and sculptures, Bibles in around 30 languages. Not much that feels like a match for the kinds of clues we're looking for, but there were two interesting items: Arkham Paranormal Research Society minutes and collected poems of Dr. John Dee.
Of course, that must be the D in Dee's Necronomicon, but that name, it feels so familiar. I just can't put my finger on it.
Make an occult roll.
That is an 83 to my 70.
You've heard the name before, and it's one of those things where it's on the tip of your tongue. You just can't. It's not clicking. Anybody else who has an occult roll?
52 out of 60.
Okay.
Oh, John Dee? He's the philosopher and mystic for Queen Elizabeth, right?
Yes. Oh, brilliant. I grabbed Cherry. I can't believe it was on the tip of my brain. Perfect.
Glad I could help.
What does it mean? Collected poems of John Dee. Do we have any poems by Dee in the library?
I don't know that I've ever heard of a book of poetry by him.
Another trip to the university, perhaps.
You know where that book was delivered to?
I've eaten enough red herring for one day.
How far away is Bolton?
Up the road, kind of across the Miskatonic River, not too far.
Well, everyone ready for a road trip? Can we fit 6 people in the car?
Well, I can always sit on someone's lap.
That's a good idea. I've got this lap right here that is perfect for sitting.
Brand new.
Brand new.
All right, I suppose we can squeeze in.
Bolton is a smaller, more industrial town than Arkham, and driving out to the Great Eastern Tannery, you can smell the industrial businesses before you even see them. Powerful, sour smells of ammonia and lye and other chemicals, just harsh smells that assault your senses.
It's like a perfume compared to what we smelled yesterday, huh, Moses?
In comparison, yeah. Like,
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was some supernaturally vile stuff. This is just some classically tannery vile stuff. You guys find the Great Eastern Tannery off the road. It's a pretty busy place. Several rather old-looking wooden buildings contained within a battered wooden fence. Gate to the place is open, and there are some cars inside of it, a couple of delivery trucks. People going about their business, tanning leather.
Anything seem out of sorts?
Not particularly. I mean, it looks like a tannery as best as you know. This isn't really your area of expertise. It's a little more industrial than the level of tanning you do.
Sure, I just mean people being weird.
Not offhand. I mean, if you want to make like a psychology roll to kind of look over some of the workers.
I mean, in general, I'd assume that unless something's wrong, we are the weirdos.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are definitely like a clown car full of ridiculous weirdos.
Okay.
You see an older man, graying, balding. He looks like some point of authority here on the grounds. He's talking to a few of the other workers, but he looks over in your direction and you can see a flash of concern across his face as he stares at you before he turns back to the conversation. With a gesture, he leads them back into the tannery building, walking and talking, and soon he's gone from your sight.
Sherry, do you know that man?
I don't believe so.
Kenneth, do you recognize that man?
I've never seen him in my life.
Well, then I reckon he wouldn't recognize us from the speakeasy.
Something happened?
He took off pretty quick.
Did seem mighty nervous.
Why don't you folks go have a talk with him? And I'm gonna find an office, if such a thing exists.
Yeah. There's a main office building off to the side if you want to go in there. It looks like it's open for business.
Anyone can come with me that wants to.
I'll go interrogate this man.
I'll follow you.
I reckon I'll come along.
All right. Moses, Oswald, let's all meet back here when we're done with our respective inquiries. Keep your wits about you.
So we're going to follow this other gentleman who took off pretty quick in our opposite direction.
I got my rifle under my jacket.
Okay.
It's a short
I got
rifle.
your carbine.
Yeah.
And the rest of us are headed to the office.
It's a small, tidy front room, and there's a number of leather display pieces in here. Shoes, leather artwork, things like that. There's a few chairs in a waiting area with a pot of fresh coffee brewing. And off to one side, there's a desk with a smiling receptionist behind it.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Miss
Sandra Parker, receptionist extraordinaire.
I like the cut of your jib, Miss Parker.
Oh, Sandra, please.
I walk over to the desk to shake her hand and get cozy. I'm Estelle Thorpe, and these are my associates, Kenneth, Cherry, and Anjana.
Ma'am?
You must be the buyers from Marshall Field.
Oh, heavens no. Sorry to disappoint. We're just here to make a little inquiry. I slide her the auction house document. You see, I've recently become the owner of Lot X of the Pell Estate, and I just wanted to inquire about whomever acquired Lot A.
She picks up the paper and looks it over.
Well, if it doesn't have to do with shoes, then it must be one of the Eliases, most likely. The owners. This sounds like their cup of tea.
Wonderful. Any chance we'd be able to speak with them?
Yes, of course. Well, have a seat and I'll see what I can do.
Sandra gets up and walks back to an office which you now notice has a nameplate on it saying Mildred Elias. Meanwhile, outside, Moses and Oswald, the two of you enter the tannery building. The smell in here is a lot more powerful, and there's all kinds of hustle and bustle. You see workers loading skins into a giant vat. Others are being pulled out and dried. This place is busy. The guy that you saw talking to the other workers earlier, he makes his way over to the both of you, walking with a purpose.
Big smile.
Make an appearance.
No. 99.
Me neither.
Okay.
I'm 75 out of 60.
Are you folks here to cause some trouble?
We're just here to ask some questions. Is that trouble?
I don't know. You tell me.
No, it is not.
Absolutely not. Questions, there's no problem with questions. I'm going to fast talk him. I believe that's a 100.
So
we're doing very well.
Yeah, what
Great
horrible thing do you
team.
say to this poor man?
And you please, on call, put your foot in your mouth.
Yeah.
We're just wondering, where this smell comes from. Is that you, or is that something going on around here? Or, just wondering how come, you smell so bad, or this place smells so bad. We're asking questions about the smells. That's right, Moses?
We're concerned citizens.
About your smell.
What are you doing?
I don't know. It's the concussion.
Why don't you fellas just pack it up? If you got questions, you can take it up with the front office of the mayor. Rest of us got work to do. And don't linger. Place like this ain't safe for you.
Oh, is it dangerous around here? I mean, are we supposed to be wearing protective clothing?
As you say that, he holds his arms out like he's trying to ferry you guys
out
towards the door.
I feel like we definitely outstayed our welcome.
Are any of these workers? Are they vagrants or migrant workers?
What relevant skill do you want to roll?
I'm trying to recognize if I know any of the.
You need to roll detect
vagrants.
hobos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
detect hobos.
What detect hobos skills?
Intelligence.
Yeah, you can do that.
So I have a 16 out of 80.
Okay, so looking them over with your general hobo vision, most of these people look like regular workers. You don't really see much in the way of any kind of vagrants. But the odd thing is, as you look at it, you don't see any. Like, there normally would probably be a couple. You don't see anyone who has that look to them.
Thank you very much for being kind. My friend here and I, we're just going to go find that office you're talking about.
Y'all have a lovely time.
I'll smell you later.
Oh, that was quite an experience. Okay.
So as we're walking out, we're walking towards the office, and we've walked on our own accord. Hopefully the gentleman has kind of left us happy that we're walking in the opposite direction. Moses, normally in these kind of places, my people would be here. I don't see a single hobo or migrant worker.
And, I mean, you are certain.
Do you see this hat? Do I look not certain about hobo?
Fair. I'm not sure if that means anything.
It means that these people are not just regular workers. We need to go find everybody else.
Yeah, I agree.
Miss Elias is quite interested to speak with you.
Ha! Outstanding. And the rest of the gang come with me, I suppose?
Presumably.
That's what I'm here for.
Well then, onward into the office.
Make a spot hidden check.
I got to 34 out of 75.
As you make your way into Mildred's office, there's a box off to the side that catches your eye. You notice a glint of a name placard that reads Woodrow Elias, in a box of what looks like office supplies, knickknacks, and things like that.
Huh.
There's a woman seated behind the desk in this office, presumably Mildred. She is disarmingly charming. She's got one of those faces that makes it hard to tell her age. She could be in her early 30s, maybe her 40s, and the only real hint are some strands of gray in her blonde hair. She's dressed pretty pragmatically. She has what looks like a nice blouse on, but it's covered up with a workman's jacket. She stands up to greet you and holds her hand out for a shake.
Good morning. I'm Mildred Elias. Please, come in. Make yourselves comfortable.
I walk up to the table, meeting her gaze and hopefully matching her charm, and I shake her hand. Hello there, I'm Estelle Thorpe, and these are my associates, Cherry Featherbottom, Kenneth Roger, and Anjana Ramakrishnan.
Mom.
Hello.
Howdy.
We're the recent purchasers of an auction lot, which we believe you may have acquired a partner lot to.
Huh. What might that have been? What was in the lot?
Did you buy anything at an auction lately?
No.
Nothing at all.
Well, we have a form here that says that Pell Estate Lot A was purchased on the account of the Great Eastern Tannery on April 21st.
Oh, that would have been Woodrow, my brother. Yes, he's always buying stupid things. He came home with a truckload of garbage and nonsense from that auction. I remember that vividly.
And where is your brother now?
Europe, last I heard. Hard to be more specific than that when he's on vacation.
Now, you say it's a truckload of garbage. Certainly you wouldn't mind us poked around, just looked at it a little bit. Promise we won't take nothing.
It's kind of two halves of a puzzle, if you will. We've got some books and documents that the other half of which we don't have.
Nothing personal, but my brother's quite particular about his things. I'm the responsible one, you see, and regardless of what I think of it, letting strangers root through his belongings.
Totally understandable, Mildred. Totally understandable.
I'd like to roll a charm. That's an 80 out of 60.
There's a box by the door with some of his knickknacks in it. Feel free to have a look at those.
I go over to the box and see what's there. Can't hurt to be thorough.
We don't think any of the things we're looking for, the sort of thing anyone would really want. Just kind of odds and ends that we can't really sort out.
If you're in need of bulk orders of shoes, belts, or other finished leather products, please keep us in mind.
Ooh, I love shoes.
If you don't mind me asking, how long have you been running the tannery?
Oh, we've run the tannery for quite a while, since our father passed away years and years ago. It's mostly Woodrow, but he's become rather unreliable, clearly. So I've taken the reins, so to speak. That's a little joke. We also make rains.
For my spot hidden, I've rolled a 13. Anything worthwhile?
You find a small little bowl of coins, some of which are rather similar to the one that the gambler is carrying around right now. Beyond that, mostly it's a lot of little things, little decorative things, not too far from what you had in your lot.
Seeing the coins, I become a little bit interested. I come over and start helping rummaging through, and I want to use sleight of hand and see if I can grab another one of them fish coins.
You got one. You don't really see too much of interest in the box itself. And from that lot description, that was like a house full of stuff. I mean, she did mention that there was stuff at her manor.
You say your brother went on vacation?
Yes.
About, how long ago was that? I lift up my notebook.
Yeah, those of you guys who are in there, make a psychology roll.
97 out of 50.
43 out of 60.
As you've been talking to her, Estelle, she's keeping something from you. Especially when she talks about her brother. There's a certain edge to her voice. Like, he kind of irritates her, but the way she's talking just doesn't seem, something about it just doesn't seem right. Almost like the answer she's giving you about him being in Europe is rehearsed.
I'm no stranger to family business and all the troubles that come with that, so... Mildred, I hope you don't mind me being so forward, but what exactly did Woodrow really get himself into?
Look, in this case, it's true. He just picked up and left. Left me with everything here. It's a damn mess. You wouldn't believe the state of the books.
Did he give you an idea of when he might be back?
No. Last time he did this, he was gone for 6 months.
I moved closer to Mildred, put the charm on, which is a 74 out of 55. Maybe this also is a little too forward, but you're a businesswoman, I'm a businesswoman. Perhaps we should get to know each other a bit better.
She smiles in a way that is revealing. You made a psychology roll, you kind of you don't have a great read on her, but she seems weighed down by a lot going on and almost distracted. Like she might have taken that bait in another life. If that makes any sense. Like before whatever's going on with her, there was a time where she would have been all over that. As that smile melts away, she says,
Well, we Eliases are quite private people.
Just friendly chit-chat, perhaps a dinner, a soiree?
Perhaps.
Here's my card. And if you change your mind, don't hesitate to give me a call.
She takes the card and she hands you one of her own from the desk.
If you ever need any leather products, you know where to find us.
Oh, I can think of a few.
Will do.
Thank you again, and off we go. Now, the card she gave me, does it have the address of the tannery on it, or her?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think we should all get in the car and have a discussion.
As you guys load up into the car, Moses and Oswald, the two of you guys getting in the car, notice that the fellow you were speaking to before is kind of standing at the door, watching.
I turn around and I shout to him, "Hey, what are you looking at?"
Oh, nothing much, sir. Just minding my own business.
I think we probably all whip our heads around because what just happened there?
I thought maybe, you were looking at this, and I gesture to the bandage on my face.
Hard to miss, but I wish you all the best, sir. Hope you get better.
Yeah, somebody really tanned my hide.
I got a feeling this man is familiar. I'm wondering if his last name might be Herring. We did not hit it off with that gentleman over there. I think he wants to tell us something, but we are not the men to get it from him.
Cherry.
Miss Cherry or Kenneth, Any of you got some charm you can work over on this man?
How can I be of assistance?
Hike it up.
Oswald, honestly, just because your face is an oozing sore doesn't mean you have to be one.
Oh, it's fine.
Does that give her a +5 to charm?
Not in this context.
That'd be pushing the roll.
What should I ask him?
So we struck out on just even general information, so...
Do you think he knows where his employer lives?
Probably everybody does in the area.
Well, because maybe you could, tell him that we have something she wants, and she told us to take it to the house. We don't want to bother her again. Maybe he can tell us where the house is.
Well, let's the rest of us stay back and attempt to not be so completely conspicuous.
Cherry's gonna walk up to him, smiling. Very cute.
He watches you the whole way, one eyebrow cocked. You're not exactly a common sight around a place like this, and for a working man, you're definitely not something that he would see up close.
You like what you see?
No denying that, ma'am. But I have a wife.
Oh, I see. I just saw you staring at us. I just thought it was me.
You're certainly deserving of it, but you got some strange friends.
Sorry about my friends. They were in an accident, and they've just been acting really strange ever since. My friend, he even lost his accent.
Well, shoot, ma'am. I'm awfully sorry to hear that. What brings y'all to the tannery?
Just my interest in shoes. I love shoes.
You placing an order?
Oh no, not me at least. We're just, exploring.
Ma'am, is there something I can do for you?
Besides us. See anything weird around here?
Plenty.
Like what?
Ma'am, I ain't got time for a song and dance. You folks labor recruiters? Those friends of yours collect people up for jobs?
No.
Now, I ain't been watching Cherry, per se. Just trying to play it cool over here, but I can't help but notice her charms might need some gentlemanly assistance, so I walk over there.
Kenneth, you ain't a labor recruiter, are you?
Not last I checked. Why, you looking to get in a new line of work?
His eyes dart around and he walks away from the door, motioning for you to follow him, just around the side of the building.
Look, I got men disappearing. 30 men. You folks know anything about that?
30?
All these people go missing at once, or they start slowly fading away?
Over a few days, about a month ago. No indication. Just here one day, gone the next.
Now, if my employees weren't showing up for work, I'd probably inquire with their family. Did you hear anything from them?
That's the thing. All these folks, they didn't have no family.
So, no notice, no nothing, just poof?
Well, as soon as it happened, I spoke to Miss Elias. She showed me the resignation letters, but something just don't add up. They didn't give no indication of moving on, and they got no reason to hide it.
So they've all started quitting and disappearing ever since Woodrow left?
That'd be a bit after Mr. Elias went away. And frankly, things are better with Miss Elias running things. Her brother is a bit of a dim bulb.
Bit of a dim bulb.
But look, folks, about my man.
He pulls out like a folded up flyer out of his jacket pocket and says,
Supposedly they went out west. Some mining operation.
Mind if I take a look at that?
It's a recruitment flyer for a company called Falsk Industries, some kind of mining and refining business in Colorado. And if this flyer is to be believed, they're offering spectacular pay and great startup bonuses.
I found these flyers around, but the thing is, these didn't show up until after my workers left. I know that for a fact.
So maybe the people is turning into flyers is what you're telling us.
He looks bewildered and then annoyed and snatches the flyer back from you.
Thanks for nothing. You know, you folks are the most peculiar damn people I've ever met.
Sorry, friend, bad joke. But look, it's every bit possible somehow, some way your workers saw this ad before you did. Maybe off-site someplace. Who knows? All I know is that amount of money's bound to make anyone who ain't got a family tying them down pull up and head out west. Poor fellas probably got themselves hoodwinked, too. Ain't no way they're getting that kind of pay. I'd bet on it.
Do you got some kind of other idea about where they might have gone?
No, ma'am. I sure don't.
Now, before we get out of here, we was talking to your boss. We were going to drop something off to her residence, and I was just hoping you could point us in the right direction because, we don't want to go back in there. We have to go through the secretary, all that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I made a few deliveries out there myself. If you go up East Havisham Lane, there's a turnoff, a small paved road. It'll say Elias Court. You can't miss it.
All right, well, I thank you kindly for all your help here today, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Y'all have a good day now.
I have the address for where we need to go. I think.
Wait, where do we need to go?
Well, we were over there talking to what I feel like might have been the foreman, and got him to offer up the address for the proprietor of that there tannery business. I feel like we might be able to check out, maybe find some more of those items.
Well, I'll break in.
Get some clues.
Well, I won't be doing any breaking in, but something is certainly amiss here, and time is of the essence. If that's something you're willing to do.
Why is everybody looking at me? Not all hobos are thieves, but I will break into the place for you.
Not all hobos are thieves, but you are.
But the king of the hobos certainly is. To the Elias house.
It's not long before the sour air of Bolton is replaced with the clean smells of summer countryside. The outskirts of town get pretty quickly rural, moving from farms to forests to occasional isolated estates.
And here's Elias Court.
It's not a very long road, about a half mile, and at the end of it is a large metal gate. Wrought metal, covered with ivy, and there's a crest at the top of it, a bear surrounded by oak leaves. It looks fancy and old, probably a couple hundred years. Off in the distance, you can see the estate itself. It's a 3-story manor, painted white, ivy-laced trellises running along the front, and from where you are in the car, looking through the gate, you can actually see a pair of huge stone Chinese lions flanking the doorway. They could be from some Chinese artist, or they could be looted from a temple and shipped all the way here. From this distance, it's hard to tell. It's a nice place, but it's clear from where you are that the garden looks a bit overgrown. It's been a couple weeks, maybe more, since anybody's seen to these grounds.
Well, listen, I don't know if I'll be sneaking around the back of the house looking like a brigand while we're at the front.
I think I look very dapper in my hat, if you would mind apologizing.
I was talking about myself.
What, do you want to wear the hat?
No, I think I'll skip the hat today,
Okay,
thank you.
Who's all with us?
Oh, okay. So this is a thing that's happening right now?
Well, if someone chooses to get out and enter that property, then I have no knowledge of it, but you certainly can.
All right. Yeah, I'll go. Come on.
That's right.
Gambler, you in?
I reckon I could come along.
Who here is
with you
pretty
this
sneaky?
time.
You know, we might-
Anyone sneaky?
I'm not very sneaky, but I might be able to help you out with a lock or any sort of a confrontation that might happen.
You want to come pick us up later, Mom?
Mom? I'll thank you to never call me that again, but we'll be nearby. How forested is this area? I mean, can we inconspicuously make some loops occasionally?
Please do not circle this house while we are sneaking inside.
Well, the street that you're on right now is Elias Court. The only house on it is their manor, which is set back away. I mean, if you wanted to make your way up the road and, park by little copse of trees.
Yeah. If we need to cause a ruckus, we certainly could.
Is Cherry skinny? Are you skinny?
She's flappy.
She's actually quite fit.
I was hoping for somebody who could slip through a windowsill.
She could probably manage it.
We need to shove you through small places.
Well, don't you think you should scout it out first and then we can plan this?
All right. I mean,
that's fair. All right.
But we didn't have a plan last time. We turned out okay.
Better than ever, really.
We're going to use our various scouting abilities, right? Mountain Man will do his mountain man thing, and
sniff the ground.
I'll check out front for any
measure the stars.
I'm going to check for hoboglyphs because I don't even know if there's a vicious dog or any of those.
Checking the hoboglyphs, roll luck.
55 out of 75.
Sure enough, there is an old weathered hoboglyph carved into an oak tree not too far from the gate, indicating that this place is friendly. But you also find a more recent one, pretty emphatically warning to stay away from the place.
Is it a specific, sometimes it'll say a dishonest man lives here, or it'll be just, it'll say, there's no work to be given, or the food sucks. I mean, is it just kind of like a generic, I'd look at it and go...
No work, dangerous.
No work, dangerous. All right, that sounds fun. It's totally safe to go inside, everybody. Except for, it does say that, if you're looking to wash any dishes or repair anything inside the house, no luck for you. And also, it's dangerous, but that's fine. That probably has to do with the inhabitants who hopefully are not home.
I reckon we might not even need to get into the house if we can find that truckload, if it hasn't been unloaded yet. So I feel like we should just peek around the property.
Are you guys going to make your way onto the grounds, slip through the bars? I mean,
Yes.
the gate is really more decorative than anything.
Oh, yes.
Estelle, Anna, and Sherry, you all drive off. Where to?
There was a nice little spot at the intersection of Havisham and Elias Court. We can park there and easily see if anyone's coming.
And if so, we honk the horn.
Okay. The rest of you slip through the bars and you make your way onto the grounds. Your first impressions about the gardening not being maintained are on point. This place was once very lovingly kept, but the flower beds have all become infested with weeds. Off to the right side of the manor, you see what might be a stable building, but part of it has been converted into a garage.
For vehicles.
Yes.
Does that look like it used to be a stable to you there, Moses?
As much as anything would, I suppose. Yes, I mean, I assume. I'm not a horseman.
I think we should go check that out. They did mention a truckload worth of stuff. So.
Why don't you look, Kenneth? And
if I had something that I would categorize as some miscellaneous trash, maybe I wouldn't have integrated it into my house yet. I might throw it in my garage.
You go first, and I'll follow you.
Gladly.
Okay, good.
The door on it is closed. You walk your way up to the front, look in through the windows, peer in. Looks like there is one car in there right now. Looking around in here, looks like there's room for another car, and it probably is a space that's used. Like you see like some oil drips and things like that. The car that's in there right now looks like it probably hasn't been moved in a while. Just based on the way it's kind of sitting there, and there's like a box sitting on it. Are you guys going to go in? You guys going to kind of make your way around the building, get a good look at the place?
Yes.
Okay. As you guys make your way further around, you can kind of see in the back there's a big area for where horses would be, should be, but you don't hear any horses. You don't see any indications of any horses.
Any tracks leading out?
You see some, yeah, but they look old.
Okay.
Looking into the stables, place looks empty, but you catch what definitely looks like stains, maybe even blood on some of the walls in there.
Well, let's take a look. I want to make it clear that I'm being as conspicuous as possible. So if somebody were to come out and be like, what you're doing here is like, we're looking for the Eliases. I mean,
so just kind of like exaggerated looking around kind of motions and things like that.
Upright, not sneaking.
Yeah.
Just
nothing wrong.
Yep.
Just a hobo and a degenerate
and a mountain man.
And a mountain man.
You guys make your way into those stables, and yeah, sure enough, as you guys are kind of inside it and can see around better, these white walls, some of them are dirty and splashed with blood. There's some weird stuff in here that doesn't make sense. You see a couple of like parts of the walls that almost look like they've been kicked by horses. Like you see like hoof prints and things like that, but places on the wall where a horse could not kick.
Moses, do these look familiar to you?
These are like horse prints, which are not cloven.
Not
like the ones
horse, not horseman prints, but horse prints.
Well, I've never seen a
horse feather prints.
Yeah, the horseman, if you remember, had cloven hoof.
Cloven.
Yeah, the horses do not have cloven.
Beyond that, though, looking around, you do find a room with a closed door in here.
Is it locked or no?
Doesn't seem to be.
All right. Well, I'm gonna just move my hand into my coat, so my rifle will be ready if I need it.
Maybe I should open the door while you cover me with the rifle.
That's a great idea.
Or, even better,
the gambler.
The gambler. I'm going to make a bet with you.
Start taking some risks.
I'll bet you right now the whole sawbuck of his money that you won't go open that door.
I'll take that action.
I do not consent to this, but let's see how this goes before I decide whether or not you deserve money.
Okay, gambler. You opening that door?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and...
Okay, so door opens with a creak. And inside, looks like maybe a stable hand's bedroom, something like that. You see a lot of signs that this place has been well lived in. The person who lives here is probably pretty familiar with horses. You can see a lot of equipment.
My Little Pony merchandise.
Yeah, exactly.
Horse paraphernalia.
Yeah, it's equestria all up in here. But beyond that, though, otherwise, the place looks like it hasn't been lived in for at least a while now. I mean, like you see a fine layer of dust on some things.
I'm going to go ahead and roll a spot hidden.
This is a fine layer of dust.
43 out of 40.
43 out of 40. That's a damn fine roll.
Everybody else, roll for spot hidden as well.
Of course.
All right.
100.
100, awesome.
We are some observant people.
I don't even see you guys.
It's kind of gloomy in here.
I can't see anything.
Can't really see.
My hat has fallen over my face.
And you're unable to fix it.
You guys are looking around. Oswald is like,
is that Jam?
And like he's over by the bed.
Jam?
And he's like touching his tongue to something on one of the sheets. And he kind of pulls his head away sharply. That's not jam.
That is not. That is the.
That's blood.
Definitely the opposite of jam. That is people jam. That's blood.
That's man jam.
That's man. That's right. That's man jam.
Your concussion got the better of you there for a moment.
God jam it.
So your detective hobo skills failed you, but you did find a clue nonetheless. There's not too much that seems to be hidden away here. I mean, everything weird in this place seems to be pretty much out in the open. Like, hoof prints where they don't belong, blood splatters on the walls and ground, a little bit of blood in this bed. No real signs of foul play, though.
Do you normally find blood all over it?
Hoof prints everywhere?
Well, I mean, no signs of, like, real struggle or anything in this guy's room.
No violence.
Like, all the weird violence is outside, and it looks like horse violence, which is, like, people violence is a different thing. Like,
This is equine play.
Yeah.
No foul play.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
But if it was both, we'd know exactly who did it.
That's true.
We're gonna try to make your way into the house?
Yes. I feel like this is probable cause.
Okay. So you guys are gonna try to come in through one of the doors in the back?
If there's a door in the back, we should probably, not make ourselves as exposed as possible. Try to go in the back door. Yeah.
I can pick a lock. You can pick a lock.
I can pick a lock. You can pick a lock. If you want to have a go
if
at
you
it.
hold one lock pick, and then I'll hold the other part, and we'll do it together. We get to add our score together, right?
You guys can go one after another, assuming one of you doesn't go nuts and break the lock in frustration.
I feel like if any police officer came and said, "What are you doing?" we'd be like, "It seems like there's an emergency, sir," and you would agree.
You go in first.
Yeah.
The door appears to be locked.
Appears to be, or is it?
Jiggle the handle and it's not turning.
It's just jammed.
Not cool. I jiggle it a little harder.
Okay. You shake the ever-living hell out of that door handle and it's not moving. It appears to be locked.
Well, tell you what, son, if you want to step out of the way, I'll go ahead and attempt a lockpick just in case, you ain't capable of such thing.
Do you have a lockpicking kit?
Of course I do. What would I be with lockpicking skill and not a couple of pins to hammer out that there cylinder?
I have a lockpicking kit too. You're not special.
I don't have one. So I'm going to go ahead and roll my lockpicking skill.
Go for it.
It's pointless conversation. No way in hell am I getting that lock open.
Well, you could try to push it and force it, but you might jam the lock.
We got a master of jam already. I'll let him take a crack at it.
Nope. 70 out of 26.
Step out of the way, boys. I'm just going to kick it as hard as I can.
Go for it.
No, I'm not. I have brawl is good. Strength, no. I'm not. Just I could beat the door down.
Yeah, we could both do it.
Force it open.
Why don't the three of us all try to force it open at the same time?
Don't want to hurt my hip. I think I could just beat down the door.
Yeah, just go ahead and make a strength roll.
I have 75.
Yeah, 65.
Okay, so yeah, Gambler reels back, plants his boot squarely on that door jamb, and kicks the door open.
I loosened it for you.
After the silence of that door being kicked open, you don't hear any sounds.
Have you shared the slithering secrets of the Call of Cthulhu Mystery Program with your close friends and confidants? If not, why not? Even if you have to whisper at their windowsills in the dead of night, spread our madness-evoking tales like an alien fungus. Though, do exercise some decorum. Foaming at the mouth and clawing at bystanders will just get you locked up, and it's dubious if they have a radio in the sanitarium. If you're more of an anorak, you can always support us in the privacy of your home. Just rate and review our series on Apple Podcasts and Podchaser, like these fine folks. On Podchaser, Gary reviewed the first episode of The Terrible Secret of Lot X, saying, "An excellent dive back into Nerdy Show's Call of Cthulhu Mystery Program, with a fresh cast of new characters exploring truths better left unknown." And meanwhile, over on Apple Podcasts, Mechatibs wrote a review entitled Humor and Horror from the first episode. They said, "This show is a well-produced and well-run game that manages to be fun and lighthearted, despite the ostensible Cthulhu backdrop. The characters are memorable, and the game flows well. It's definitely engaging, leaving you wanting more. Subscribe immediately, if not sooner." We also got some fan mail via Facebook from Arthur Rebinato Ultramari, who said, "The Call of Cthulhu Mystery Program is fantastic. I love radio drama, and I love RPGs. I tried to listen to podcasts like Critical Hit, but in my opinion, the format is not suited for radio. At the Call of Cthulhu,
You combine my two favorite pastimes. Thanks for the kind words, friends, and keep them coming. Your rating and reviewing on these platforms, as well as sharing our show far and wide, helps ensure we're discovered by more mentally marred individuals such as yourselves. That's one of the many ways you can make certain that we're able to keep producing this show. Another is supporting us via Patreon at patreon.com/nerdyshow. It's thanks to our patrons there that The Terrible Secret of Lot X exists. And in turn, not only have they helped create this series, but they themselves receive mystery program bonus content and early release episodes. Again, that's patreon.com/nerdyshow. If you get lusty for RPG tales in between our releases, let the Nerdy Show Network lend a hand on lonely nights. Head to Nerdy Show Theater on your favorite podcast player to find exciting special narrative programming, including the recent release of Goblin Slayer, an actual play special by our series Wicked Anime, using the anime-inspired Besem system, which is short for Big Eyes Small Mouth, to tell a tale set in the world of the Goblin Slayer anime. Also on Nerdy Show Theater, you'll find Nerdy Show's Paranormal Adventures, our Paranoia XP special, and oddities like How I Met Your Mothra, a giant monster sitcom. And if you're in the mood for science fiction and suspense with your dice rolls, be sure to check out RPG from Scratch's current actual play, Echoes of the Star Crypt. Just find RPG from Scratch on your favorite podcast player. Up next is a track from musical twins Melissa and Michelle Macedo. These spooky sisters wield their witchy wiles to conjure forth catchy and sublime songs that'll shake your spirit, and maybe summon a few for a saucy seance. Their latest long player, Ghost Town, is available now. This is Macedo with Supernatural.
Today has been a strange day. The house has been settling in strange ways. The stone solidifies hypocrisy. The ghosts have gotten the best of me. The darkness adds to the shade of gray. The overbearing curtain, get out of its way. I feel the sky and its witchery. There's one at stake and it seems to be me. I think it would be best to leave the ghost to rest. You tried your hand at supernatural when you met me. I do believe it's best to leave your lies to rest. I do believe in cleaning house before you ruin me. The haunting in the hallway is me and my demons. We've come out to play. They're only out when they're unleashed and only speak when they've something to teach. The house is covered in gold floors, cold feet are scuffling through closed doors. The object of my irony is now transforming, playing tricks on me. I think it would be best to leave the ghost to rest. You tried your hand at supernatural when you met me. I do believe it's best to leave your lies to rest. I do believe in cleaning house before you ruin me. When you met me, I do believe it's best to leave your lies to rest. I do believe in cleaning house before you ruin me. I think it would be best to leave the ghost to rest. You tried your hand at supernatural when you met me. I do believe it's best to leave your lies to rest. Before you ruin me, I do before you ruin me.
Thanks for listening to the Call of Cthulhu Mystery Program. If you like what you heard, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. And be sure to subscribe to our series via your favorite podcast player to get all the latest episodes. Episode 4, Chicanery at the Tannery, was written and performed by Luke Stram, Cap Blackard, Nicky Holland, John Sebastian LaValle, Gore, and Joshua LaForge, with additional vocal performances by Cynthia Beckert, Glitch Wilder, Melody Perera, and Crystal LaValle. The series is edited and produced by Colin Peterson and Cap Blackard, and the original score is composed and performed by Ryan McQuinn and Mike McQuinn of Neon Dolphin, home for all your custom music needs and more. NeonDolphinMusic.com. For full episode credits and links to where you can purchase this series' original score, as well as character sheets and other supplemental material, visit CthulhuMystery.com. The Call of Cthulhu Mystery Program is proudly played using Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu 7th Edition, available at fine role-playing retailers everywhere. This program and all programs on the Nerdy Show Network are made possible by the support of listeners like you. With special thanks to our Patreon producers, Isabiz, Allison Parent, David Van Pelt, Evan Baumel, Hoodoo Voodoo, Jamieson Lalone, Dr. Talos, Joshua Westfall, R. Scott Diedrich, Sean T. Red, and Zombie Pops. Join us at patreon.com/nerdyshow or head to nerdyshow.com/support for additional ways to contribute. All characters appearing are fictitious, and any resemblances to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. This has been the Call of Cthulhu Mystery Program. Good night.